Everyone, this is our review slash discussion of Doomsday Clock #2.
Yeah, we already reviewed the first issue of Doomsday Clock, so if you haven't seen that, check it out. It's on our channel. We'll probably leave an annotation here somewhere.
Yep. So, the issue starts off with the mime and marionette getting their gear back.
Yeah.
And find out it's a flashback of them going to go rob a bank.
Yeah, they're robbing a bank, and then Dr. Manhattan shows up to stop them.
Yep.
And he threatens to kill Mime, but then Marionette gets in his way and says, if you're gonna kill him, you have to kill me first.
And he doesn't, because he realizes that she's pregnant.
Yeah.
And he lets them go, which surprises Ozymandias.
Yeah, this actually explains to us why they're so important to finding Dr. Manhattan. It's because that moment, to Ozymandias, that moment just then is one of, like, the more human moments Dr. Manhattan has had ever since he became basically a god.
Yeah.
And so he wants to remind John of that humanity, so he's hoping to, like, bring them with him to the DCU and confront John, and then, use them to just remind him that he's still human and that they need him, and they need him in their world to do good, and kind of coax him to come back.
Yeah. And after that...
then they start getting ready to actually go to the DCU, so they get the Owl ship ready, Night Owl's ship.
I thought Night Owl was going to make an appearance when the Owl ship showed up, but it turns out it's just Ozymandias piloting the thing.
Yeah, I would have loved to see him, because I really like Night Owl. Yeah. But I like how at least they explain it, how why he's probably not going to be in this book. Ozymandias says that he probably won't like seeing Laurie with Dan. Dr. Manhattan probably wouldn't like seeing them together, because if you guys should have read Watchmen already, but if you haven't for some reason, Night Owl ends up with Laurie at the end of Watchmen, and she used to be with Dr. Manhattan, so yeah.
She's better off with Owlman, though.
She is.
Dr. Manhattan just flat out ignored her.
Right? But so then it works. They converted Night Owl's ship into somehow they allowed it to somehow be able to, like, jump across universes, so that they press a button and bam, they crash land in the DCU in Gotham City, actually.
Yep.
And
then we get a series of images of, like, Rorschach tests.
Yeah.
And then we find out that they're testing Bruce Wayne, because the board of directors test him every year, just in case, like, to check his mental health.
Yeah. Lucius mentions that, like, 7 years ago, they started doing this more regularly, because 7 years ago, he failed the Rorschach test that they had done on him, because he was being honest, and, obviously Batman is a little crazy. I mean, we all love him, but he's crazy.
Yeah, so they have these tests, and if he fails it, there'll be, like, a LexCorp takeover.
Yeah.
So they're trying to avoid that.
Yeah, because they provided just a little background about that, like how LexCorp wants to buy out Wayne Industries or One Enterprises. I don't know. The name changes a lot, but
so LexCorp is basically Disney, just trying to buy everything.
Yep. Yeah, they want to buy it because Bruce Wayne's company right now is doing research on the metahuman gene, and only they have that research, and Lex Luthor wants it because he thinks it's the key to stopping Superman. That.
See, that research is basically the X-Men property. LexCorp is Disney. But anyway, so Rorschach and Ozymandias, they hit up the public library, and they want to meet up with the two smartest people in the DC universe, which are Bruce Wayne and Lex Luthor. And there's a funny quote. It says that Ozymandias wants to take the smartest one, which means he's gonna go meet up with Lex Luthor.
Yeah, that made sense to me, because they're both really similar, if you think about it, and I like that they're kind of parallel. They're parallels to each other, essentially, because you have both of them who originally with Viet, who wants to take down a god, which is Dr. Manhattan. Yeah. And then on the other side, it's Lex Luthor, who wants to take out Superman, who was also basically a god. Yeah.
And Rorschach is an unhinged guy in a mask who fights crime at night.
And so is Batman, so that he sees Bruce. Or at least he's going to, because after they discuss who they're going to go visit first, because they say that we need their help, because, again, they're the smartest people on the DCU. We actually had a quick discussion about that earlier. We're wondering, how did they find out that Bruce was one of the smartest men in the world, though, because he has this whole public persona where he doesn't act like he's that smart. He acts like a playboy. You know, he doesn't act like an idiot, but still.
Yeah, like, that's not something you can Google.
Yeah.
Because people assume that Bruce Wayne is just a typical playboy.
Yeah.
But how did Ozymandias know that he was one of the smartest people in the DC universe?
But it's not that big of a problem for me. It'd be nice if they explain it, but I can definitely let that go if they don't. But, so yeah, then we're shown Rorschach sneaking into Wayne Manor, and he goes in a typical Rorschach fashion. He steals some food from Bruce.
Yep, he steals his pancakes.
Yeah,
that he was supposed to have for his breakfast.
And the pancakes had like a foil on them, so like he's eating them at Bruce's desk, probably in his like library. It looks like, and the foil falls off the desk and it lands on the ground. And I guess based on the sound it makes, he notices that the ground is hollow. So then he presses his ear against the floor. And, you know, he realizes, yeah, this is hollow. So then he starts looking for entrances down there because I guess from that he gathered that there's a secret layer or something hidden under there.
Yeah, and then he finds the grandfather clock and it opens up and it leads him to the Batcave.
Yeah.
And then he sees Bruce in there.
Actually, I think what happens is that Bruce is out fighting crime, but then he trips a sensor.
Oh, yeah.
Or like a silence.
The red light.
Yeah.
And yeah, you see Batman looking concerned.
Yeah.
And that's where Rorschach's part ends.
At least for now, yeah.
Yeah.
Because then we cut back to Lex Corp, and Lex Luthor's fighting some people, you know, being a mean person like he usually is. Yeah, and then he runs into Ozymandias.
Made himself comfortable, just enjoying his art.
Yeah, which looks a lot like the art from BVS, I wanted to point out. So
you can see the winged men.
Yeah.
And Lex Luthor asks the guy in the purple suit, like, who are you? And Ozymandias replies that he's the smartest man on his Earth, and how Lex Luthor is the smartest man in the DC universe. And Lex is like, of course, that's right.
Yeah. And then he has to quickly explain why he did what he did, or why he's there, and so he kind of basically recaps Watchmen to him.
Yep.
And then Lex Luthor, I like this, because Lex Luthor is like, well, if you're the smartest, because he hears the plan, the whole alien thing from Watchmen, and he's like, well, that's pretty stupid. Like, no wonder people are still fighting. Like, why did you think that would work? And I found that really funny, just because DC, like the main DCU, is supposed to be not realistic at all. And the Watchmen universe was supposed to be more realistic. Yeah. And yet we have Lex Luthor from the DCU calling out.
Yeah. Because he's seen various alien invasions and he doesn't stop like all the fighting. So there's a funny moment there. And there's hints that the Mime and Marionette are going to break out of the handcuffs.
Yeah, because
they were left in.
Yeah, because we didn't mention that earlier, but they were left in the owl ship, handcuffed to it so that they wouldn't escape while they go find Bruce Wayne and Lex Luthor. But
I do want to see them escape, though, and meet up with Joker and Harley.
Yeah, that'd be really
great. Just to see all the shenanigans that they'll get into.
Yeah. So then, after he's done explaining the plan or what happened to Lex Luthor and why he's there looking for him, they cut back to Rorschach, who's just in the Batcave. He's looking at
just looking around.
Yeah. And
he notes, like, how it's kind of weird that this guy keeps trophies of his villains.
Yeah.
It's just like...
He says, like, how unhinged do you have to be to have this stuff?
And this Rorschach compares, like, Batman to the previous Rorschach, Walter Kovacs.
Yeah. So, like, this tells me that maybe this Rorschach isn't as crazy as the original Rorschach, but I don't know.
He's more self-aware of what's happening here.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, back at the LexCorp building, Ozymandias is talking, and then he gets shot.
Yeah.
At first, I thought it was like a flashback or something to Watchmen when he caught the bullet. But then, turns out, nope, present day, he gets shot. So does Lex.
Because I think it, like, grazes Ozymandias and then hits Lex.
Yeah. And we find out the person who shot them was the comedian.
Yeah, and this is, like, the big, like, what the heck moment in this comic. Like, what the actual... I felt like Aunt May at the end of Spider-Man Homecoming.
What the...
But, yeah, like, I have no idea how he could be back. I hope they didn't resurrect the original.
Yeah, like, he should stay dead, though.
Yeah.
The original comedian in Watchmen. Because it's such a pivotal... Like, it's what sets off the story.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't really undo that death.
Because the only reason that, like, Rorschach caught anything fishy at the start of Watchmen was because of this death. He's like, somebody's taking out superheroes. Like, it's not unrelated.
Yeah, that's the moment that kicks off the story.
Yeah.
So to undo that death would not be cool.
Yeah, plus the bloody pin. That's like
it's
the most iconic thing of Watchmen.
So, any theories on who this comedian is?
I know me and you were talking about how it might just be a comedian from the DCU because originally the Watchmen were just based off of DC characters that DC had bought from Charlton Comics.
Yeah.
But it's totally possible that this is just a DC version of the comedian. Maybe like Dr. Manhattan like talked to him, explain what happened on his Earth.
Yeah.
And so that's how he knows about Ozymandias. But I don't know. I mean, they definitely know how to end an issue to make you want to read more.
I know. Do you think he could be a comedian that was pulled out of the timeline?
That's definitely
that was
possible.
My first thought. Like the Dr. Manhattan took him out before he got killed and then brought him over here.
Yeah, because that that makes a lot of sense now that you say it. Because we know that Dr. Manhattan can mess with time because he did. That's how he pulled out Superman's dad.
Yeah.
In the Mr. Oz story that's going on.
So
in
it's already
comics.
Established that he can do this.
Yeah. So he pulled him out of time to do his bidding. So like it's totally possible that now that he knows that Ozymandias was gonna kill him, that he pulls him out of time to save him and brings him with him.
Like it could just be him in a separate timeline. So the comedian still dies, but this one is like a separate timeline where he doesn't die.
Yeah.
Now he's here. So hopefully we'll find out in the next issue or so.
There's also under that panel, you would think they would just end it there, but I'm glad that they didn't because we also get to see Rorschach and Batman come face to face finally because he's finally at the Batcave, and the first thing he says is, "Oh, you ate my breakfast." Like
Rorschach is just, yeah, I did.
Yeah, so I love that, and then we also see handcuffs, implying that Mime and Marionette have escaped. Yep. So there's a lot of loose threads here to be tied up in the next issue. I'm really excited. I'm especially excited to see who the heck this comedian is.
Yes. And
then B, also just to see Rorschach and Batman fight. If they're going to fight. I'm assuming they're going to fight, because come on.
I mean, he ate his breakfast. Like, that's worth fighting over. So, any further thoughts on the issue?
I thought this is a really good issue.
Yeah.
Like, you were saying it's a lot of exposition. It's true. Because the first issue to me felt like it was like, get people hyped. Now this one is like,
all right, time to get into the story.
Yeah.
Set up elements that will be important in the future.
Exactly. Like, actually connect the two universes. Because there was no real connection between them in the last issue.
Yeah.
And this is the first time we, like, really see them face to face.
They bridge together.
Yeah.
Like, they're here in Gotham City now, and crazy stuff is going to happen in the future.
Yeah, like, third issue. I have a feeling the third issue might be the best one yet.
Oh, yeah.
But, I know these will be really good issues. Come on, Jeff Johns. Jeff Johns is a great writer.
Jeff Johns. Oh, let's talk about the art.
Yeah, we didn't talk about the art.
Just really great images all around.
Yeah, really solid art, same as last time.
The colors are vibrant. I love the colors.
Mm-hmm.
And we gotta talk about this imagery, though, of the bat signal and then the owl ship lighting up to look like eyes.
I'll definitely put a picture of that in here, but the little box, the little quote says, when are you going to open your eyes? And this is Lucius talking to Bruce after his psychiatric test. And so you want to explain the image really quick?
So it says, when are you going to open your eyes? And it shows the bat signal in the sky. And then on the, like, a bat head part, it shows the owl ship's eyes lighting up, so it looks like it has eyes. And it's like, it just really stuck out to me because of how beautiful the image is. Yeah, just great images all around, like the first issue.
And then we see that classic Watchmen 9-panel grid system, and I absolutely love this style for comic books just because it allows you to show different facial expressions as people are talking throughout the comic. So, like, I'm glad that they're actually using it in this kind of continuation of Watchmen. But yeah, it's really solid art overall.
A really good issue overall, too.
Yeah, what would you give your final rating for this one?
Let's see. I give it 8.5.
I'm gonna... after we discussed it more, originally I thought I liked the first issue a little more.
Yeah.
But I think I like this one just as much, so I believe I gave the last one a 9.5, so I'm gonna stick with the 9.5 for this one.
You have 8.5, to give it some room
to
grow higher next time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a solid issue, worth a pickup. And check
definitely.
it out.
Yeah, alright, well, thanks for watching, and stay tuned if you guys want to keep hearing about this miniseries, because, trust me, it's pretty great so far.
So, see you guys next time.
Now for this week's Comics Haul. First up, we have Action Comics number 994, written by Dan Jurgens with art by Joe Prado and Brett Booth. Booster Shot Part 2. It's the time-hopping team-up of Superman and Booster Gold, and on their quest to verify Mr. Oz's identity, a mysterious force attempts to sabotage the journey. Next up, we have Hawkman Found number 1, written by Jeff Lemire, with pencils by Brian Hitch and colors by Kevin Nolan. One of DC's greatest heroes is missing. No one has seen or heard from Carter Hall, aka Hawkman, in years. Reincarnated repeatedly since the dawn of humanity, Hawkman has spent many lives uncovering history's most fantastic mysteries, and now he has become one himself. Now we have The Amazing Spider-Man number 793, written by Dan Slott with pencils by Ryan Stegman. Venom Inc. Part 4. Spider-Man has been compromised by Maniac, and it looks like his only hope is Eddie Brock. Peter Parker isn't gonna like that. Finally, we have Moon Knight number 190, written by Max Bemis with art by Jason Burrows. Moon Knight and Sun King's orbits are on a collision course. Mark's good relationship with his other personalities shows sign of fracturing, and Sun King reveals his secret weapon.